Michael Faraday is a scientist. He has carried out so many electrolysis experiment. In that electrolysis experiment, so in some cases atom is acquiring the negative charge, in some cases atom is acquiring the positive charge, right? So why this atom, as all we know that atom is a neutral, why it is attaining the negative charge during the electrolysis? In some cases it is attaining the positive charge. That gave an idea or a scope to the other scientists to think about that inside of the atom some smallest particles are present. These smallest particles are called as subatomic particles. These smallest particles are called as subatomic particles. These subatomic particles, which is also known as there is an fundamental particles of an atom. What are the fundamental particles of an atom? Mainly there is three are there. One is the electron, and other one is a proton, and other one is a neutron. These three are called as the subatomic particles of an atom. Electron is discovered by the J.J. Thomson. Proton is discovered by the Goldstein, and neutron is discovered by the James Chadwick. Next topic is the discovery of electron. Actually, this electron was discovered by the J.J. Thomson based on the discharge tube experiment, the cathode ray discharge tube experiment. J.J. Thomson discovered the electron. So this discharge tube was designed by the Sir William Crookes, is a scientist. Sir William Crookes is a scientist, designed this discharge tube. A discharge tube is simply a glass hollow tube which contains the two metal plates. Here I am taking that this is in a one metal plate, and which is connected to the high voltage battery. Here also another metal plate is there, right? Here this is simply a glass tube. This glass hollow tube which is fitted with the two metal plate. This is a one metal plate which can be acting as a cathode, and which is a negatively charged plate, and this is a anode, and which is a positively charged plate, right? So here you can take that there is a particularly vacuum pump. Here a vacuum pump is fitted to control the pressure inside a discharge tube, right? Here I am taking that high voltage. Here high voltage, in this high voltage nearly about 10,000 volts current is applied. Okay, so this is simply a discharge tube experiment, or a discharge tube. So this discharge tube is designed by the Sir William Crookes, right? So in this cathode rays are going to be production can be takes place. From that there is an discovery of electron was done, right? So discovery of electron was done by the J.J. Thomson, and this J.J. Thomson is based on the discharge tube experiment. He has discovered the electron. So this discharge tube is designed by the Sir William Crookes, right? So this discharge tube is mainly contains a glass tube, glass hollow tube, which is inside is fitted with the two metal plates. One is acting as a cathode and other one is acting as a anode, right? So now when we are passing the gas inside into the discharge tube at a pressure of 10 power minus 2 atmosphere, with very low pressure, gas is sent into the inside of that discharge tube, and now you can apply the high voltage current. When we are applying the high voltage current, so immediately the whatever the gas is present here, this gas is going to be emitting the some light. This gas will be emitted the some light, so that light particles so will allow the electric current, right? So a stream of particles which is started emitting from the cathode, and this stream of particles through which there is an electric current can pass from the cathode to the anode. This stream of particles is called as it's a cathode rays. This stream of particles is called as it's a cathode rays, right? So when the cathode rays are going to be produced, a gas is passed into the discharge tube at a very low pressure, that is a 10 power minus 2 atmosphere. When we are applying the high voltage of current, and immediately gas is emitting the some light, right? So and a stream of particles will allow the electric current to pass through from cathode to the anode. This stream of particles are called as here cathode rays, right? So these cathode rays are consisting of a negatively charged particles. Negatively charged particles are there, which is cathode rays are containing that negatively charged particles. These negatively charged particles are named as the electron by the scientist called as a Stoney. Scientist is Stoney. Stoney scientist is named this negatively charged particles as a electron. He has carried out this experiment J.J. Thomson. From that he has produced the cathode rays. Cathode rays are containing the there is a negatively consisting of a negatively charged particle. These negatively charged particles are called as electron, and this negatively charged particle named as electron. This was done by the Stoney scientist, right? So this is a simply production of cathode rays. Rays are produced. These cathode rays are invisible to our naked eye. Cathode rays which are produced now, that are the invisible. And another important characteristic is this cathode rays is always travel in a straight line direction. Always from there is a cathode to the anode, and these cathode rays are travel in a straight line, right? To find out this particularly its behavior, and when we are placing that this cathode rays are invisible now, so when we are placing that any other little paddle over in the direction of cathode rays, this cathode rays will turn that rotate the paddle in such a way. So I am placing the some metal file in the direction of cathode rays. Somewhere here some metal file is placed in the direction of cathode rays. So what happens, this particular cathode rays are going to be striking on that metal file, and so that this metal file is going to be heated. It will get heated. So from that we can say that this particularly cathode rays are having the even heating effect also. This cathode rays will produce that effect is simply a heating effect. What is mean by heating effect? When we are placing the any other metal file in the direction of cathode rays, this cathode rays will get heated up, and that effect is called as it's a heating effect. And other one is suppose if I will place in the direction of cathode rays, there is an electric field is placed. So when we are placing the electric field in the direction of cathode rays, so this cathode rays are deviated their path towards the positively charged plate. Towards the positively charged plate, these cathode rays are deviated. And other one is if you place any other magnetic field in the direction of particularly cathode rays, and these cathode rays are deflected towards the south pole in the magnetic field, right? And another one is so when we are placing that particularly to find out its behavior, cathode rays are the invisible now. If you place any other zinc sulfide screen in the direction of this cathode rays, you will find that a zinc sulfide screen is which is a fluorescent screen, and when we are placing that zinc sulfide screen in the direction of cathode rays, and will find that one kind of flashes are going to be occurred. some kind of flashes are going to be occurred on that particular one. So that's the reason we can say that cathode rays are the invisible to our naked eye.